Hi guys, it's Melissa, and I have gotten some questions about what I do as a virtual assistant, how I became a virtual assistant, and what my days look like. So instead of sitting and answering questions in the comments and private messages, I just thought that I would go ahead and do a video and kind of introduce you to what this whole virtual assistant work at home life is like. So, to give you a little bit of a background, I started working as a virtual assistant in 2012, but I didn't realize it at the time. Because of some circumstances in my life and some advocacy work that I needed to do for my own children, I had become very well versed in special education law. And so well versed that people knew about me. And so I came across some attorneys and some experts that would be part of cases and whatnot that needed some assistance with research and strategizing and that kind of thing. And so they hired me at various times to help them in those ways. And that was a really cool thing because it was something I knew well. Out of necessity, and it's a passion that I have to help the disabled. So that was really cool. But the work was sporadic, and so it started in 2012, but it wasn't a constant thing. So a couple of years ago, our real estate agent at the time, I told her I was looking for a work at home job, and she had me work as her assistant. And I did that briefly so that I caught the real estate bug and realized that I enjoyed doing real estate as far as being behind the scenes. And so I got my real estate license and thought that I would work doing all the paperwork for agents behind the scenes. It's called a transaction coordinator. The problem is I didn't have a lot of experience. You don't have to be licensed to do that, which is a little bit scary, but and so people they were kind of gun shy with me, even though I was licensed. And you have to work for your own brokerage in my state. You can't work for multiple brokerages doing that kind of thing. And I was with a really large brokerage on purpose because they had a lot of benefits, but they also had built-in software that would manage their transactions. So the agents didn't need me. So I began thinking, what have I done getting this license and I can't use it and all this stuff. And so I started thinking about, well, what else would a realtor need? What other service could I help them with? And so that led to trying to refine some of my skills. It led to going back to a passion that I had when I was in college. I wanted to be a communications major. I would have loved to have been a graphic designer, but I'm old. And when I was in college, computers weren't as prevalent as they are now, and you had to draw everything. And I had a difficult time getting things from here to paper. And so I didn't pursue graphic design. But now with computers and programs and things like that, I've been able to teach myself some things enough that people trust me to do some design work for them. So I do that. I help manage people's databases. What else do I do? I've done newsletters for people. I've done research. I've done comps where you figure out what a property should be priced at. I've done social media for agents where I will set up their Facebook page and do the graphics for their website and that kind of thing. And what else do I do? I can't think right now. But those are the kinds of things that I have done. And I have slowly built up doing those. I started with working through Fiverr and Upwork. And the more I worked with them, the more credentials or I don't know, priority I got as far as being shown to people that were looking for help with those issues. And I got really good reviews. The problem with Fiverr and Upwork is that they take 20% of whatever you make. So while that's a good thing because you're protected in being paid, you're also giving up part of your pay. So you have to up what you want as far as pay. If you want this number, you got to up it up here, which some people are adverse to. And so anyways, I kept looking for jobs that I could do from home. And they're becoming more and more prevalent, but it's just a matter of having the experience behind you. And my experience was in graphics and social media and administrative stuff, and not necessarily the transaction piece. So I saw one day an ad for a job with an online discount brokerage, and I knew about them. I had tried to talk to them when I first got my license, but they weren't looking for anyone. And they were looking for someone to be a listing agent for them for this brokerage, and you could do it all from home. So I applied for the job, got the job, and I've been doing the job since June. And I think right now I have 5 homes under contract, and I believe I have 8 or 10 active listings. And what happens is the people, our brokerage is no frills. So people can go on our website and they can pay a fee to be on the MLS, which is the multiple listing service. And they're on there so that their home is advertised. And all their paperwork is run through us as far as other people send it to us. But they can do all the paperwork themselves. We're just kind of behind the scenes if they need our help. The next step up from that is that we can provide representation. When that paperwork comes in, we can go over it, advise them of any red flags, do responses for them, and then eventually get them under contract in an open escrow and get them to closing. So that's what I do. So I'm assigned listings from people that have gone on our website and have said, we want to advertise and we want an agent to help us. So I am given their information. I am deemed as their agent. And then as the offers come in, I review them and I send them to them. We talk about them. I respond, like I said, negotiate for them, try to get them under contract, and then walk them through the whole process of getting to closing so that their home is sold. And so I don't get paid a ton for doing that. In fact, I'm very underpaid for doing that. But at the same time, it's giving me the experience that I didn't have before. And it's becoming a more consistent income base, and I'm learning how to streamline it so that I'm not investing so many hours that it's not worth the money that I'm making. So I do that. And then with my virtual assistant stuff, I charge typically by the hour. I've charged anywhere starting at 20 an hour. I've gone all the way up to 50 an hour, depending on the task. Obviously, the more that you charge, the more skills you need to have, the better you need to be at whatever it is you're offering. So because I'm not professionally trained in graphic design, I don't try to compete with the big guys as far as their price. But so I do that, and I have an accounting program where I can send an invoice if it's a client that I work with outside of Fiverr or Upwork, or I just submit my hours to Fiverr and Upwork, and they make sure that I'm paid. So a couple of pros and cons with being a virtual assistant and working from home. So I'll do the VA part first and then the real estate part. They're similar though. With the VA part, the work is sporadic. You don't know when it's coming. And you might have 3 of your clients suddenly need something. And so you're busy, and then you can set office hours, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be busy during those office hours. And if they're contacting you late in the day and you need the extra income, you can find yourself working in the evening to get things done if they need it quickly. The cool part about that is you can decide when you work, and you can decide what work you're going to take on. and how much you're going to charge, provided that the client will pay it. So that's the really cool part about it. I've been able to work it around my family. It's been great. But the downside is it's unless you are on a package situation with a client, you don't have a steady income. For a while, I did have one client that I did a newsletter for every month. And so that was really cool because I always knew every month I would make X amount. But he kind of stopped doing his newsletter. So, anyways, yeah, so that's part of being a VA. I can wear whatever I want. I'm writing a whole ebook about how I set up my business, how I did it on a shoestring budget. And so I will come on and let you know when that ebook is done. And I may also do an e-course, just trying to figure out all of that. But yeah, so that's how the virtual assistant piece is. And then as far as the real estate piece, because I'm not a traditional agent, and because our clients are paying such a small amount, they only pay our brokerage $500 for an agent to represent them versus paying 3%. When, for example, on a $300,000 house, 3% is $9,000 that you would pay an agent. So they're only paying us $500. So it was really hard for me in the beginning because I wanted to give everyone excellent service and I wanted to negotiate back and forth and get them the best deal and, do a great job. I take pride in doing a great job. But I was working far more hours than I was ever being paid. I mean, there was one day I negotiated a deal for 6 hours. You can do a whole transaction in 6 to 10 hours. And I was just negotiating the deal. So over the course of the past few months, I've had to learn to streamline that. I've had to let people know. I send them an introductory email. I have specific office hours. I don't work the weekends. If an offer comes in, I'll forward it to them. But I don't negotiate. I don't discuss an offer. I simply get it to them and then we talk about it on my next work day. I don't work holidays. I don't work weekends. I don't work nights. And so in that way, I'm able to structure my day. What I'm finding, though, is the more homes, obviously, that I have under contract, the more work I have to do. And so there are days where my inbox is just filled with stuff that I need to take care of. And then I'll have an afternoon with nothing. And then a bunch of stuff will come in the evening that I have to deal with in the morning. So it's becoming more steady for me. It is a flat fee that I get paid, so it's not an hourly. So the more efficient I can be, the better. And I have some systems in place in that. I may do a video on the anatomy of a real estate transaction and some of the systems I use. But anyways, those are all great things that I would love to do. I love to teach. I love to help people learn how to do things. It's just a matter of finding the time to do that. So hopefully that answered some of your questions about what it's like to be a virtual assistant. It's great. There are virtual assistants that work full-time. They have clients. They have constant income. For me, I've had the opportunity to have that, but I need the flexibility in scheduling. And I want the flexibility. I don't want to work full time. So it works out well for me. I work when I need to. And then I, prioritize from there and it works out really well. So if you have any questions about being a VA, please put them down below. Love to talk to you about it. Again, looking at an e-course, possible ebook. And if you like these kinds of videos, give me a thumbs up because that lets me know. Please share my videos with your friends. I would love to get some more subscribers. And until next time, make it a great day. Thanks. Bye.